You're a mum, you're a mum, you're a busy mum. Come listen to the Busy Mum podcast. Life hacks and inspiration for the busy modern mum.
Welcome to the latest episode of the Busy Mum podcast. Just before we get into this interview, I will be releasing new episodes each Monday morning, just like clockwork. Also, if you don't want to miss an episode, subscribe to my iTunes channel, The Busy Mum Podcast. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. Just search The Busy Mum and you should find me there. Now, a word from our sponsor. Do you find that you hop in the shower, you're enjoying the lovely hot water dripping down all over your body, relaxation, no interruptions from the kids, and you think, yeah, I'm going to shave my legs now. You just pick up your razor and it's in just the most rubbish condition. It's rusted, it's full of soap scum or shaving cream, or even your husband has grabbed it and shaved his face and not cleaned it out. Gross. But you clean it out a little bit, you give it a go, and you end up cutting your legs, and now they look worse than when they were just a little bit hairy. Well, now thanks to Pins, the latest and greatest women's leg shaving company, you can have them delivered straight to your door. New razors all the time. But not only do they have razors with 6 blades plus 4 extra cartridges in the pack, but they also have a clear shave gel, which is slippery as hell and moisturizes to boot. The gel also allows you to see exactly what you are shaving, which is great for those pits and private bits. I've been using them now for at least 6 months and am loving it. Check them out at www.pinnspins.com.au. And don't forget to use the Busy Mum podcast code, BusyMum, to get 15% off your first purchase. So, Kylie, welcome to the Busy Mum podcast. How are you this morning?
I'm okay. I'm a little bit husky and sound somewhat like a man, but I'm okay.
It's like the Kylie sex line. Welcome.
Totally. Maybe that's how I can make some money. There's my moonlighting job.
That's so funny.
Career goals.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, Kylie. What do you do? Where do you come from? How many children do you have? Etc.
Where do I come from? Are you kidding? I don't disclose that to anyone. The school I went to recently was all over the news and everyone was tagging me and I was like, delete. No one knows where I went to school. I don't share that information.
Come on, tell me. I can have the world exclusive.
No, we were all across, the school was all across it because the Royals decided to visit. It was literally the best thing that's ever gone in there. But anyway, that's another, oh God, I've lost you. Hang on, here we go. Yeah, so look, I come from a very, very basic and simple background and I now have 3 children. I'm the eldest of 4 and I now have 3 kids. Only ever wanted 2, so that's a surprise in itself. And launched, 3 daughters, and I always thought I'd only have 2 sons. So it's all very, very odd, and I'm still coming to grips with it. But, 3 girls, and they are almost 7. And Frankie and Sadie had their birthday last week at 4 and 2. So it's a very, very, very busy life, which you would know because we have been trying to tee this up for over 12 months now.
It's fine. Good things come to those who wait, right? And if
I hope I come up with something profound.
If it was easy, everyone would be doing it, right?
Oh, God, honestly. On the back of event week, I'm usually kind of a bit like a potato too, so I really struggle to find words. But we'll see how we go. I hope I don't disappoint you too much.
No, not at all. So, how are you managing with the 3 children? That's both my girls now are at school, so I have school hours.
I can't imagine.
It's so good.
I can't imagine. I mean, in all honesty, the school run when Isla started kindy came as a rude shock to me. I didn't realise how short the day was, and I literally had a nervous breakdown around week 6, week 7. And one of the mums saw me. I was sobbing at the school gate, full-blown sobbing, couldn't talk, couldn't breathe, ugly crying, lots of snot, falling apart. And I mean, at the time, I had a newborn baby. Sadie would have been maybe 8 weeks, give or take. Yeah. And I think my husband was either overseas or sick. Oh, I can't even remember. But I was born. No, Sadie was definitely born. And I was sobbing away. And one of the mums said to me, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No. Every time I get here, I go home and it's time to come back again. Like, I can't get anything done. We look like we've been burgled. I'm not achieving anything. I can't get into the headspace to write anymore. And I was just like, I just can't do it. And literally an hour later, she had flowers on the doorstep, had made the family dinner and said to me, I remember exactly what it was like, and I didn't have a newborn. And I mean, our newborn at the time was a surprise third. So it was really, really hard for us. We were just starting to resurface with a 2-year-old. So the school days came as a shock. How am I doing it? Not very well. I am juggling like a circus clown, and it is exactly how I look, and I drop a lot. But I'm becoming a little more unapologetic for it. I mean, I feel guilt. Like when, to go into a little bit of detail on one of our attempted podcast recordings, the headphones actually snapped in my computer. And I was just standing there going, you have got to be beeping kidding me. I couldn't believe it. And we had tried, and I had locked it out, and I'd organised for the kids to be somewhere, and the jogger was ridiculous. But then when stuff like that happens,
don't push it. Don't push it.
You know, that's where my guilt comes. I don't get the same mum guilt that everyone else gets. My guilt comes from looking and appearing incompetent to the outside world, and realize that we're all at the same apologizing for trying to do my best. And that was a pretty extreme situation where I was cursing, and the language I was using was very profound.
You can't push stuff like that.
You know, sometimes it just doesn't work, and that's the reason I only work with mums. So I guess the where do I come from, who am I, and what do I do? I'm married. It was our wedding at 5 and went to bed because it was the night before the event. I don't know what I was thinking. And we've been together for 12 years, married for 8. So, and still strangely like each other, and have survived 3 children, which is a surprise in itself. Monthly events, brunch events for women, very similar to a TED style talk, if you will. And they were curated on the back of being made redundant over email while I was on maternity leave. So I got very, very angry, and I thought to myself, what have I done? I didn't enjoy maternity leave. I certainly didn't make the most of it. I didn't maximize it in any way. I still don't have a will. There are things that I thought I'd have this dream organized home and be ready to go, and it just didn't happen. I also didn't get to catch up with the people I thought I'd be hanging out with because sleep schedules don't align. So I thought to myself, what if we held a conference for mums every month? And about a month later, I held my first with 30 or 40 women at a pub in Paddington. How inappropriate is that, looking back? I mean, it was great. The venue was fab. It was carpeted. Yeah. And look, I got it cheap. Then we moved on to the grounds of Alexandria, where we hosted over 2,000 mums in our brunch event. And since then, we've moved to Centennial Homestead, where we sell out generally most 4,500 mums in just under 6 years. So, you know, it's huge, it's big, it's exhausting. And I tell you, I shouldn't have said yes to this on event week because I feel like a potato. I have nothing profound to say, nothing.
That's all right.
I need some talking notes.
You're well, describe for me a day in the life of you. Like, so from the moment you get up, like what?
Well, let's run with this morning for an example. I don't even need 2 minutes. This morning, I got up, I did about an hour of work on my phone, laying very still because I had a small human next to me and I didn't want them to wake up. I think it was the middle small human this time. Usually it's the eldest. And I was doing work, but very quietly, and I couldn't get out of bed because if she woke up, that was the end of my work time. So I did that from about 5:30. Then I got up and my husband had a parcel arrive. He opened the parcel and it was full of that little tiny kind of confetti stuff. So the girls emptied it throughout the kitchen to pretend there was snow. So after the snowstorm, Frankie dropped 2 glasses of water, so then there was a flood. So I had to clean the flood, and then after the flood, messy monkeys to do another meeting that I had handed them. Snacks are the key to my meetings. Or I play hide and seek and I hide in the wardrobe. And this is a true story. And then I cleaned all of those up. I have managed 3 loads of washing. This is my podcast. I've loaded up the photos for the next event. I've bashed out some copy, and I've had my husband retouch the artwork for the next event as well. And it was all by 10:30. I'm out.
Right, that's
Oh, and
that's
school
productive.
drop-off. Sorry. School drop-off. Didn't realise for the first time in about 2 years that I didn't have a clean uniform for her, and it was sport day. So I had to put the dryer on a 38-degree day in Sydney. And I even washed it last night so I could hang it out knowing it was hot. But I was so tired that I passed out and I didn't get on top of it. And then I threw some snacks in a bag that resembles some kind of bento box lunch. And then I'll be doing school pickup in about 2 hours.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. With a smile. You did a great smile then. I was going to screenshot that one. You're like,
Start a business, they said. Start a business.
yeah, don't go back to full-time work. Oh, you'll hate it.
Oh, my God. I reckon, I have to tell you, this should make you laugh. I went to a meeting last week and I was busting, and I had a very similar morning, rushing around doing a billion things, and I was busting to go to the toilet, like busting. And I said to them, because it had security at the front and I had to be like checked in, and they have iPads and it was all very fancy pants. And I said, I really need the bathroom. Do you mind? And they said, we're sorry. If you need to go to the bathroom, you'll have to be escorted. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I can't even go to the bathroom by myself here.
No.
Like, I it's ridiculous. My daughter came in and sat next to me yesterday and she's like, hi, how's your day going? I'm like, can I just maybe go to the toilet by myself? Anyway, so yeah, it's carnage. My life's carnage at the moment.
Well, like, I think it's the age of your kids. Like, I honestly think in about 5 years' time, you'll get a bit more.
Don't say that, because I was banking on 2 or 3. You do know that we've just sold our house and we start building a house in 4 weeks.
Yeah, you mentioned that last time we spoke that you were going to do that. So that's happening. So I'm quite lucky to
also,
you, really.
I know. And the builder couldn't start for 10 weeks because of this new home insurance thing that they've decided to put in place.
Yeah.
And so we decided to furnish an entire house in 2 days so that we could lease it out. So we managed to lease out for 10 weeks. So pretty broken and defeated over that. But we're getting more and more efficient, and it starts in about 10 weeks, and we can try and furnish it and short-term rent it. So, but yeah, our lives at the moment are just really crazy, and lots of people are saying it's the age of the kids. I think it's also working so hard to set ourselves, and yet at the same time we're kind of missing it. So there's this wonderful irony about it. But, you know, I'm expecting things to settle kind of midway through next year.
Yeah.
So that's my plan.
And meditate.
Oh, yeah, everyone says meditate. Drink my green smoothie and meditate. I'll get there soon. Soon I'll meditate.
Soon. Yeah, I feel like meditation is for retirement. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm happy to pop not the best recommendation, but look, I know and understand the importance. I'm just not in the headspace to do it. My recent meditation has been watching Netflix with subtitles, because then you can't touch your phone, because otherwise you'll miss what's happening. So I've been watching some foreign, pretty trashy TV just to switch my brain off, because I used to be like an avid, you know, book a day, book a week type person, and I just can't deal. Like, I cannot read at the moment because it just feels too hard. So, yeah, subtitled Netflix, the new meditation, hashtag that.
Yeah, hashtag that, yeah. So, well, we'll go on to that question. So you are watching Netflix. What are you actually watching?
What am I watching now?
What are you watching?
Chesapeake Shores. Should I admit to that? I did watch a fabulous movie, Barefoot, and I just thought it was really lovely. That was a nice switchy offie. But I'm pretty trashy when it comes to the old TV front. My husband's horrified. He believes that there's no time to waste with good films and good music. And I'm like, no, give me 80s karaoke trash any day, or a cover band, and I want TV as easy as possible so I can brain off. But when I read, I like really pretty hardcore novels and complex novels, but not yet. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I'll get my brain back. Yeah.
Recently I watched the Adam Sandler Netflix special. Like, I'm not an Adam Sandler fan.
Oh,
I kind of like
no, me neither.
every one of his movies is like he's the hero and the rich guy, and all of his friends are crap and struggling, and I hate that. It's like put down humor. So I reluctantly clicked on that. Okay, I'll watch it because it had quite good reviews. And as a stand-up comedian, he's pretty good. So I highly recommend it. Yeah, I do. He does a lot of
Did
songs.
watch there was a female that I accidentally clicked on because I like the cover. I'm terrible. I choose Netflix by cover or whatever they pop up. The algorithm says you'll like this because you watched this. The only problem is my middle child, who's just decided to come here for me to fix a pram.
Yep.
She loves ballet or dancing movies. So I've ended up, when she's been on my Netflix, having some of these random recommendations, and I have actually found myself watching them occasionally, which is truly terrible because they're like gymnastics films where the mean girl doesn't want her to do that and they fall and there's a broken ankle and they have to, it's pretty bad. I shouldn't admit to this. There you go. There's your exclusive.
I've done the same though, like because my girls watch all that kind of stuff as well, and the tween kind of things. But I've given them their own Netflix like avatar now.
Yeah, they've got theirs too, but if they click on mine, it gets muddled. This is Frankie. Frankie is my 4-year-old that watches all of those, whereas my almost 7-year-old is obsessed with superheroes, obsessed. Cool. Frankie's just discovered Wonder Woman though, and she's written Wonder Woman a letter and she's going to send it, aren't you, sweetie? Yeah. So, we're slowly trying to get everyone onto the right genre, the family genre.
The family genre, yes. No sinner for the children, right?
Oh my God. Well, that's what worries me. If they're clicking Netflix, I actually think that needs to be fixed. Like they need to be password protected, so that they don't click into someone else's profile.
I think you might be able to.
And the other thing, well, I've had a look and I couldn't figure it out. And the other thing I've tried to do is to delete some of my history because I don't really want my husband knowing how low I've stooped in terms of intelligent viewing.
Well, we always try and watch comedy together because we think we've got to laugh more, because I feel like I said to Ben, I go, nice. I feel like I need to smile so my face cracks.
Well, I keep saying to Ryan, I really want to go and see a comedy night. I want to have a couple of drinks and have a comedy night. Like I was even Googling some of those comedy cruises, the 3-night comedy cruises. I'm like, we just need a bit of happiness and a little less stress in our lives right now.
Yes.
But the problem is, like, he loves, God, I don't even know what it's called. It's got a cat. I don't get it. And I'm like, I don't. No, it's oh no, that's terrible. It'll come to me. But it's been remade, and he used to watch it as a kid.
Oh, okay. No, I've got nothing.
Oh no, that's terrible. And he started watching it with his daughter, and she gets it too. And I just don't get it. I don't find it funny.
That's fine. You don't have to get it.
Take you off.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Man.
I don't know how much of my no brain I should be admitting to. I really don't. Everyone thinks I'm highly functional.
Look, everyone is going through the same thing. Yeah. Unfortunately, I always say, I'm not special. I just, I have my struggles as well, like with everyone. So you're frozen again. Can you hear me? Let's move on to the next question because I don't know how long we are into this 40-minute conversation. Yeah. I'm going to have to highly edit this out. Night time.
I love a good edit. I'm like, can you please not make me sound stupid? And if I make any spelling errors on interviews that are written, I'm like, can you just fix them? I'm tired.
Right. So of a night time, what are your go-to meals that you're cooking?
Ooh, cooking's very much my domain. Tonight is roast chicken. We always do a roast chicken probably once a week, once a fortnight, and then I make bone broth with leftovers. Yep, I'm that person. I make my own stock. I use the slow cooker quite a lot. Like if we have Mexican, I pat it out with veg and lentils. We had chicken and leek pie. What else have we had this week, sweetie? Homemade burgers. I love a big kind of gourmet salad. So I do platters for the kids and they eat lots of veg. Look, I'm really lucky. They love kale chips. My kids are kind of a bit hippie. Yeah, we eat a very rounded kind of meal, and it gives me permission now to kind of buy packet food occasionally. And I don't do it. It's something from my childhood. I've just got this whole, I shouldn't say this in case mum listens to it, but their idea of a quick meal was always that Woolworths coleslaw or pasta salad and a roast chicken, and I just can't stand it. So if I do anything, it's generally from scratch.
Yeah.
I make the girls protein balls for their lunch boxes every week or something like that to fill it out. But yeah, just we're pretty normal, nothing too exciting-ish.
Okay. And
Lamb shoulder on Sunday.
Lamb shoulder, yum.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Slow cooker.
Everyone, you're the second person today that's mentioned the slow cooker. I've got to get me a slow cooker.
Yeah, I actually really want to try a pressure cooker, and I don't think you can beat an oven or a barbecue, but it just makes life easier. So bolognese goes in the slow cooker. You can even do a whole chicken in the slow cooker. Yeah, and it turns out beautifully. It's so tender, and then you just brown it in the oven so that it looks like you actually put a bit of effort in. But it just makes life a little bit easier.
Yeah. And what's one area of your life you would like to improve?
Oh my gosh, my house. We look like we've been burgled, and not once, probably twice.
Multiple times.
And I kid you not, I have this recurring dream that I think is actually kind of a bit of a fantasy, where I don't know why I'm wearing all black. I've got stilettos on. I've never tried a cigarette, and I smoke a cigarette, and it's one of those long fancy ones. I think it might even be in a holder. Yeah. And then I turn around and I throw the cigarette into the house, and it just sets fire. And I wake up happy. So I dream about having less stuff. We've outgrown our house. We're in quite a small, we're in a city. We're on 240 square meters or something. And it's 3 bedrooms. We have 3 small kids. And I kid you not, they can demolish my house in under an hour. So that would be my big one in terms of personal. Like, I'd like a bit more time for myself as well. I've really lost sight of that over the last couple of months, and it shows. I've got pneumonia at the moment and I'm on antibiotics, but it's because I'm run down. I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not even getting to Pilates, which used to be non-negotiable on a Monday. So a few things need to change, I think.
Well, you got to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before.
That's what everyone says, but you've got to be real about what's happening. I mean, at the moment, we've got a lot of big things going on. Like, if we make it out together at the end, I'll be really surprised.
But just means, Kylie, like, honestly, like, as long as you're getting some decent sleep and eating healthy, like,
we have 3 kids that can get out of their beds. This is a true story. Sadie, she wears a hip brace at night, and she's figured out how to climb out of the cot. So instead of training her to be in a big girl bed like most responsible parents would do, I stitched her into her sleep sack backward last night. I stitched her in. She couldn't get out, and she didn't get out. And I know I'm an awful person because the zipper's busted, so I've got to get a new one on the lightweight one. So I literally stitched her in. I was like, lay down, Baba. And I was sewing the back of it as I was putting it on. Yep, best thing I ever did. Sleep's tough. And rest is tough. So we've actually made the call yesterday. Friends of ours are getting married in Thailand at the end of the year. And the only way we can make it and go direct will be if we leave straight after my next event, which is going to be the biggest event I've ever hosted. We have 3 major speakers on a panel. And it means that I'll have to bump out in 15 minutes and go straight to the airport. What could go wrong?
Nothing.
But it means that Ryan and I are going to have our first ever Sans Children break. And it was funny, last night I was on the phone to the travel agent and I said, listen, look, I can see all your deals at the moment. This looks fab. It's really well priced. We're adding it to the house build because we have no money. And I said, but there seems to be like a water slide in the middle. I don't want to be somewhere kid friendly. So if I'm not taking my own kids, I don't want to see other people's kids at all. Like, can you help me make this happen? So they're on the hunt for something reasonable. And I think we need it. Like, we really need a bit of downtime. And I feel like I'm just crawling to the end of the year. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to babble on that, but there's a few things I need to improve and make a conscious decision to improve, or I'm going to be useless to everyone.
Mm. And what's your greatest fear?
Fear. Oh, I'd hate to admit it. I have two. One is failure and loneliness. Like, I mean, I host events for a living. Let's get real. I don't like to be alone. Mind you, that is my only social outlet. I go out once a month to my event and then I come back. And anything outside of that, that's like an over and above bonus. And it really shits me if someone wants to meet up and they're like, let's go to Centennial. And I'm like, yeah, the only outing I have once a month. Look, failure for me is not an option, and it's something that I try and teach my kids to do all the time. Like, it doesn't matter if you fail, and yet it's ingrained in me to over deliver every time. And so failure is a big one for me. I think it comes from your childhood. I think everything about your personality comes from, some nature, but certainly a lot of nurture. So
Exactly. Okay, I've got 3 quick questions and then I'll let you go on with your day. Have you signed up to any websites recently that you actually find value in receiving their emails?
Oh, I saw that question and I don't know, because my inbox, give me 2 seconds, my inbox currently has 3,722 unread emails.
Okay.
Can you just wrap your head around that?
So that's a
So
no.
I don't know. Look, it is and it's not. I like to go hunting for people. I'm big on Facebook. My tribe was built on Facebook, so I've got a few groups that I love being a part of. I moonlight on the side of Mum Society. I founded Botany Bay Mums, and we've got a really lovely little community on there. I love Miss Boo Works World, huge fan of Baby Mac. I love there's lots of bloggers that I follow. I'm big on Steph Pace. I love Chelsea Pottinger. I'm obsessed with Libby Trickett. There's a lot of my guest speakers I love, and I've always followed them. So having them as guests, I feel like they give value. Okay. I know that sounds a bit silly. Sorry, that was not a quick answer. I apologize.
That's okay. What's one piece of advice you would give your pre-baby self?
Inside out, back to front, sleep sat. No, pre-baby self is the birth is irrelevant. And I'm sorry to Nadine from She Births. Being a parent is far harder than you can ever prepare yourself for, and your relationship is going to be stretched in ways you didn't know possible. I think one child, you have no idea what you're doing, so you're kind of in control, sort of. 2 children, two children you're trying to maintain control, and 3 children you realize you are absolutely screwed, so you kind of let go a bit and it becomes more enjoyable. So I guess just try to enjoy the ride and don't sweat the small stuff, because it really is small stuff. If you hold your baby, it doesn't mean they're not going to sleep for 18 years.
Okay.
Sorry.
Final question. What is the most useful or useless baby item you have?
Oh, useful. Gotta say. Oh, can I have 2?
Yeah.
Baby Beyond Travel cloth is unbelievable. It folds down to nothing, and everyone I know has borrowed it. And we waited until the second child to get it. And the other one, when Sadie went into a brace, putting her in one of the Stoke high chairs was fabulous, and all the kids use it to be at the right height. And I didn't buy one until the 3rd child, and I regret that terribly. So they're kind of the best. Useless, pretty much everything you're gifted at a first baby shower, because no one else had kids if you were one of the first.
Yeah, I know. I hear that. It's like, I have some, ballet shoes for your baby.
Oh, my God. We have teeny tiny original Reebok pumps. What were we thinking? You can't even squish a child's foot to fit in them.
Kid's foot is block shape. Doesn't fit in anything.
None of it. Like, I've never understood why people would get the heated wipes, the heated wipe warmer. Give me a break. Like, none of it matters. None of it. None of it. As long as you have a baby carrier, you're good to go.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being on the Busy Mum podcast. We finally did it, and
God,
it's been a pleasure.
I think you are. I think you asked me as one of your first, so I feel very
did,
guilty.
like
Thank
4
you,
years ago.
Jackee. I know, isn't that appalling? I found your original email and I was like,
Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Busy Mum podcast. Don't forget to let your friends know, and also subscribe to the iTunes channel, and also my socials if you want to see what I'm getting up to. A brand new episode is out every Monday morning, just like clockwork.